I told them I'd never been affiliated with that party at all. I can't prove anything, Jim. Hello, everybody. Welcome to FORZA Ramble. It's your afternoon delight with me and him, Jim Campbell. How about that, Jim?
Hey, I enjoyed your Clarkson. Can I request you reintroduce me in the style of Jools Holland? Because I love your Jools Holland.
All right,
I'd
okay.
like people to see it.
Did you want to FORZA Ramble with Jim Campbell? How about that?
Hello.
Hello. Blimey. FORZA Ramble, we're here. We're rocking and rolling. Get your comments in. Get them in already. You've surely got to talk about, I don't know what, but it's a pleasure to have you here. We're going to talk about Leicester versus Atletico Madrid. To start with, Jim, the dream is over.
Dreams died.
Now, I'll tell you something, Jim, right? Last season, Leicester won the league, if we can all remember that for a brief moment. Yeah, can you believe? And then this season, it's been thoroughly disappointing,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. They got to the quarter-final of the Champions League.
I know they did. Like, when the dust settles, we'll look back on that and we'll think it's brilliant. But tonight, last night afterwards, it felt so hollow, didn't it? It felt so like, oh, God. It's almost like the same feeling as when like Lincoln and Sutton went out of the FA Cup. You know, it's like you knew they were never going to do it, but you want that dream to keep going.
Of course.
And yeah, I mean they played well. They pushed them hard to not lose.
Yeah,
it is great. But
and Diego Simeone said, "Oh, it was. What did he say? I've got it here somewhere. He said it was a pleasure to compete against them." And I thought it's not very easy saying that when you win.
Yeah, because we won.
Yeah, exactly. It's always a pleasure if you compete against an opponent who plays well, but ultimately is inferior to you.
Yeah, quite.
Because I know Leicester scored in the second half and they bombarded them, but that is a very stingy defence. That's one of the best defences in the continent.
They're comfortable being attacked. They almost thrive under it, don't they? And that's what they've said. I think it might have been Diego Godin said a few seasons ago that Simeone has put this into them. They like defending. It's not. There's no backs to the wall jobs with Atleti. They're all over it. It's what they're built for.
Yeah, you could imagine like Jamie Vardy going, they don't like it up them. Like,
no, they absolutely love it. Put it up them. They'll just knock it out again.
Exactly. Heading balls.
Oh, just slickly passing it out.
Yeah, well, I was going to say.
Like, really calmly. They're a pleasure to watch, Atletico. As much as we're mourning Leicester right now.
Yeah, we are indeed. But just... Leicester in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Let's not poo-poo that. And Ranieri got them through the group. I know he left under a cloud, but he did get them into the Champions League knockout rounds. And a 2-1 loss away to Sevilla, which turned out was like a 4-0 win on the night because they were absolutely destroyed by Sevilla. So it was quite remarkable there. And Craig Shakespeare has said the Leicester players, they want more Champions League football. And I thought to myself,
I mean, so do I.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'd love to play in the Champions League. But, I mean, what he's done there is said, we'll probably sell a lot of these guys.
Yeah. I think that the likelihood of Leicester getting back into the Champions League anytime soon is probably quite slim.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, you know, you take motivations where you can, don't you? And that's all Shakespeare has in that situation. I mean,
if you can't take influence or inspiration from Shakespeare, I don't know you can.
Quite, indeed. Yeah. I think Riyad Mahrez would definitely be one, and possibly Kasper Schmeichel. But can you see many players in that squad going to teams that would play Champions League football? Yeah,
you say Schmeichel. Who'd you say? Mahrez
and Schmeichel. Possibly Danny Drinkwater.
Yeah, I was thinking he'd maybe be the other one. Ndidi, if he kicks on. The thing is for Vardy, despite what Diego Godin said, saying that he would get in the Atleti team, I'm not sure what Griezmann would think about that.
No. Kevin Gamero's not getting in there.
Yeah, Torres, I don't think he started the game. But I did quite like that. Oh, also as well, Atletico were likening Leicester's league win to their own league win, and I thought, come on,
guys.
Atletico have been the third best team in Spain for many seasons previously to recent years. Leicester City, the same cannot be said about them.
You look at the budgets, though. I mean, compared to the teams that Atletico are competing with, it is still an incredible achievement. But it's not 5,000 to 1.
Yeah, we're just like you.
Yeah. But we went through.
But we love the Atleti story as well in recent years as well. There's a few people, including our own Football Ramble and the always excellent Kelly Wells, asking me to give them a song. I don't want to let the people down. I have been listening, and Kelly knows this. I've been listening to the Communards a bit recently.
Yeah, you sang it to us on the train in Madrid, didn't you?
Oh, yes. But it will stay in Madrid, ladies and gentlemen.
I couldn't join in because I never know the words to songs.
I will leave you this way, ladies and gentlemen. Josh O'Brien says, can we just talk about Harry?
We'll get to
Harry Kane? Does he mean?
Yeah, maybe.
Harry Houdini?
Harry Winks?
Yeah, could be.
Harry Bassett?
We'll get there, don't you worry. Sean Carlton said, is Harry Redknapp made of corned beef? Discuss. We're not going to discuss that because he clearly... maybe there is a discussion there. We could be onto something there, Sean. That's wonderful. David Matthews, how pleased is Marcus to see Edinburgh's biggest club back in the top league? Up yours, David. Lawrence has said, how much do they like defending or how much do they like kicking people? Presumably talking about Atletico Madrid, not Hibs. Although if it was about Neil Lennon, I know which one would be the case.
Well, quite, yeah, but they do like a bit of dark arts as well. So
Atletico
Madrid, that.
They are one of the most streetwise teams in the competition, which was why it was always going to be difficult for Leicester.
The most streetwise thing about that game was when Griezmann was bearing down on goal towards the end. Like, there were about 20 seconds left. The goalkeeper was out, and he probably thought, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to get a shot off. So he just rolled it into space, just to wear the clock down. It's like, wow.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Those little decisions.
Yeah, it's the margin.
Of course it is. And in the first leg, they were unlucky with the penalty decision, Leicester, some would say. Yeah. But the fact is the penalty was given, and we'll come on to more dubious decisions in the other game that happened last night. And Jim, the Arsenal fan, has got something to say about Bayern's misfortune. But Leicester, do you know what? I think this was actually within the bubble of realism, which we don't like to operate, but unfortunately it is necessary sometimes. It was probably the best what Leicester could hope for, because I think if they'd have played Barcelona, they'd just got hammered.
Yeah.
And if they'd have played Real Madrid, they would have got hammered
as well.
Exactly.
Most of the teams, they would have hammered them, I think, with respect to them.
But absolutely, and they would have been quite restricted. Whereas with Atletico tend not to hammer teams, it's not just steamroller teams. It's the 1-0s and the And at the end of it, Atletico Madrid, a side who've been in the final twice, they could go on and win the competition, which actually I wouldn't mind to see. Yeah, Leicester go out to them 2-1 on aggregate.
Yeah,
2-1 on aggregate.
It's not a hammering. They've not been humbled. Everyone thought they might get embarrassed in the Champions League, and they've proven us wrong throughout it.
Yeah,
and, they've done incredibly well. They should be proud. I mean, they've made history. It's like a generation of people almost won't believe this down the line. So
absolutely right. Pranav has said, would Leicester have gone through if they'd have had Sean Wright-Phillips? It's good to get the mention out of the way. It would have been completely... He wouldn't have been even in the squad, but I get what you've done there. That's wonderful stuff. Josh O'Brien says, Wes Morgan to Real or Real? I mean, he's not going to go to Real Madrid. Is he from fake to real? I don't know what he's sort of saying there.
Fake Wes Morgan.
Yeah, is he reeling?
Fake Wes Morgan.
Real does mean royal in Spanish, so Wes Morgan to royalty, is that what he's asking?
Captain Royal.
Is he going to marry into royalty? Let's not speculate on who the royals may marry next. What else have we got here? Claire just saying, enjoyed the mention of Sean Wright-Phillips earlier. Well, there was a mention of Sean Wright-Phillips earlier, Claire. You were too quick off the mark there. Chris Cunningham just put Redknapp.
We'll get on to him.
Who is Chris Cunningham and where is he the mayor of? Just shouts out what he wants people to talk about.
Isn't Chris Cunningham the famous music video director? If so, he can do that.
Is he a Cunningham? Ooh, careful.
Rude.
Well, it's his name, and he is one. There's a lot of mentions of Harry Redknapp here. Damien Cunningham. Blimey, the Cunningham dynasty has turned out here. Luke Moore's antics of putting a licked/poisoned Rice Krispie. It was a licked one, although Luke's saliva could be poisonous. We don't know, and we'll never know, hopefully. Luke said on the show, the Football Ramble this week, that he would take a Rice Krispie out of one of his siblings' bowls, lick it, and then obviously put it back in there, which is disgusting.
Foul.
Well, it really is, but it's very fitting for the man. Is it a telltale sign of a serial killer? Serial ruiner?
You read that out. That's on your head.
What I did there, I did an Alan Partridge. I didn't read the last line. I went ahead, and I won't say what Partridge. So there we are. Right, Dwight Moe. Let's talk about Real Madrid versus Bayern, because Dwight has said, "Hey Jim, Bayern complaining about dodgy refereeing. Cry me a river, am I right?"
Absolutely. My favourite thing about this, Dwight, was when it cut to the gutted-looking Bayern Munich crowd, there was a Bayern Munich fan who really, really looked like me. So take that, Bayern Jim. I hope Real Madrid Jim was in the stadium as well, having a brilliant time. It's quite nice, because it's like when you see a bully get battered by a bigger bully that's just come from somewhere. And there are no bigger bully, really, are there, than Real Madrid?
True.
And some of those decisions, wow. Ronaldo was so far offside for was it his second or his third? Well, the offside one was.
There was a question on his third, which I thought Marcelo should have put away.
Yeah, but
it'd have been one of the goals of the season.
It's probably in his contract.
Yeah, true enough.
They're big mates, aren't they?
Yeah, that is very, very
true. You
true.
don't hear that much about Ronaldo.
He ran through. This is how it works with being Cristiano Ronaldo's teammate. Marcelo runs through. I mean, he's a fantastic player. One of the things,
so many players out.
When we saw the Madrid derby, one thing we all said afterwards, because it was perhaps a bit difficult to distinguish man of the match, because both teams are sort of quietly poised. And against Atletico Madrid, when they stifle games quite brilliantly, it can throw that around a bit. Whereas Marcelo, we all went, wow, to see him in the flesh,
just raiding,
marauding, indeed, yeah. Oh my goodness, imagine what the Vikings would have achieved if he was with them in the early, goodness knows what time.
The little dink as well to open up that space to eventually cross the ball for Ronaldo was beautiful.
So he goes through and thinks to himself, I'm away here, I'm in. I'm on for one of the best goals in the Champions League. Oh, Cristiano Ronaldo's there. For all the plaudits, I just can't be bothered for all the whining.
To be fair,
it's not worth
Marcelo,
it.
he had a lot to do to get the ball over to him, because there were a couple of recovering defenders as well, so he had to angle it perfectly, and he did.
At least Ronaldo went over and celebrated with him, because often Ronaldo, someone will do all the work, he'll tap it in and run away.
That's it, you set me up, you can do my little thing with me.
Yeah, true, yeah, I suppose,
You get on the back of marker on the front of it.
Jack Burns says, nice shirt, Jim.
Thank you, Jack.
Princess Martin, I can't pronounce the other name, Up Your Viva. Oh, that's it. It says, where's Lukey Moore? You can come out now. No, he's not here. He's
down the Rice Krispie factory, committing another abomination.
Real Madrid are through to the semi-finals yet again. They're through for... where have I got it here? For the 7th year in a row, which is a record. Yeah. Which is brilliant, because didn't they go a while of being knocked out in the
last 16? Yeah, it was really embarrassing for them. So, they turned that around.
Haven't they just?
Yeah, I mean...
Didn't they put that to bed?
Who do we want to win this season?
Well, it's a fair comment. So the Madrid sides are through.
Yeah.
That we know. Monaco to play Dortmund tonight. With the result and the way Monaco are playing, you would expect Monaco to win that.
Yeah.
And then Juventus versus Barcelona, which
I mean, part of me still thinks Barca are going to do this, you know.
Well, and they think that as well. I mean, with Luis Enrique saying fans don't leave until the end and all this kind of stuff.
Well, he said that we'll score the first goal, and like really confidently. The Camp Nou will score the second, and the third will take care of itself. I love that. You've got to be bullish. You have to be bullish in that situation. You can't. If you're Barcelona at the Nou Camp 3-0 down, you can't be timid. You've just got to go out there, play your game, just attack them, and just do what they did to PSG. Just shit them up, basically. Do you know what I mean? Just like scare them.
That's tough. Come on.
Sorry.
Go on.
For non-footballing reasons, I would love Dortmund to win the competition this season. I think we could all get behind that. But
that'd be great.
Atletico, I would love to see them do it. I'd love to see them beat Real Madrid in the final.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they could. I think they could maybe beat them in a semi. In the final, you wonder about the pressure of them having lost it twice.
Yeah. Do you know what? Actually, I agree with you. I think realistically, I'd like to see Atletico Madrid win. I would probably be of a different mind. I think over 2 legs, I think Real Madrid might do them.
Right.
But we shall see, because the draw is on Friday, I believe. Just putting the Champions League to one side for a brief moment, Gordon Pope has said, thoughts on Jim White drinking coffee and eating pizza despite not liking them, but seeing them as fashionable.
Are you all right, mate?
Yeah.
I don't know if we're the forum for you. You probably ring an HS Direct to see what they say.
There are people that can help you, Gordon, is what I would say about that. Look, if Jim White doesn't like coffee and he's doing it to be fashionable, that's his business, okay?
Yeah.
I have met Jim White a number of times. Genuinely an extremely likeable man.
Yeah. I'd love to have a coffee and a pizza with Jim White, even though it is a weird combination.
It is a strange combo.
Jim White, like me, though.
Honestly, Jim White...
Sorry, Gordon, I'll say what you mean.
Yeah, actually, Gordon, maybe we need the help, and you're providing the help. Jim White is a lovely, lovely man. He's my favourite Jim.
Rude.
There we are. Ross Angus. It's always nice to have a Marcus in there, ladies. Yeah. Well, I mean, if it is the football ramble, Ross, there will inevitably be one.
Be a Marcus here.
Which is taken by me, presumably until Marcus Brigstock gets the gig.
We'd take him in a heartbeat.
I would have said so, yeah. Matthew has said, where's Pete? I'm guessing he had an eventful bank holiday weekend. Eventful. Did he go to Geneva?
I don't know, but you lose track of where he goes.
I think he went to Geneva.
All these secret families.
For the afternoon.
This is why everyone looks like Pete.
Yeah.
They spread themselves around the nonsense.
That is it. He went, I don't know, calls his own kind of convention or something like that. So Jack Robert, the second yellow card for Vidal was harsh.
Yeah.
Or was harsh as well. It was. That changed the game, because Bayern were looking pretty good. Yeah. They got it to 2-1. That the own goal from Sergio Ramos.
That was a really, really strange one, wasn't it? But Vidal, he was so bullish after the game, and even Ancelotti was pretty vocal, which is very, very rare. He's an incredibly measured man. But yeah, they can feel hard done by, absolutely. But I mean, Vidal's got to be careful saying, you start to wonder and sort of suggesting there's some sort of conspiracy theory going on.
But then they were given a penalty in the first leg.
Yeah, quite.
So. And I'm not going to go into the whole it all evens itself out, because each game is taken on its merits.
Yeah, I mean, I have no sympathy for Bayern. I've long been saying we shouldn't have video technology, and I stand by it in this instance.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. Cristiano Ronaldo scored his 100th Champions League goal.
I mean, it's such a big deal when a player reaches 100 league goals. Like, just think about that.
Yeah.
100 goals in the Champions League.
In the Champions League alone.
It's like he and Messi were built in a lab. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just not like other footballers, not like other athletes. It's phenomenal.
It is ridiculous. To put that in context, Messi has 94, so fairly close. But then when you go to, I mean, again, we've said so many times, and I know it's a painfully obvious thing to say, but Messi and Ronaldo just crapping on records left, right, and
well, they're kind of done now, aren't they? The records are done because they've got one or the other of those has got all of them.
Absolutely. Well, Raul, who was the Champions League's top scorer for years and years. Now, I know he wasn't a particularly prolific goal scorer in terms of statistics. Obviously, he scored a lot of goals in his career. My goodness, didn't he just?
But he was consistent, wasn't he, rather than getting tons, and that's kind of what he's known for.
Right, exactly. And obviously he started very, very young at Real Madrid, and if you play for Real Madrid for most of your career, you're obviously going to score a few goals in the Champions League. He's got 71, which is a phenomenal achievement.
Ridiculous. And that looked like it would never be broken.
100. I mean, Andrei Shevchenko, who graced that competition a number of times, he was a phenomenal player, 59. Ronaldo will have, by the end of his career, more than double the amount of goals that Andrei Shevchenko, I'm sure, which is just sensational. And Ronaldo's reinvention of himself as a number 9, I know that's been there for a little while, certainly for country as well. It's just, I mean, Karim Benzema is now sort of shuffled out to the wing half the time.
It's nuts. And actually, when we saw Madrid in the derby, I was very impressed with Benzema. You and I were both saying this because we got quite a close view of him. He works so hard at sort of just holding the ball up and just creating space for others. But yeah, Ronaldo, he's not the player now that's going to sort of like just devastate you on the break or like do step overs to take defenders out of the game. But his goal scoring is still so prolific that his numbers haven't dropped. And he's modified his game to make the most of that strength. And it's just ridiculous.
It really, and some of the Real Madrid fans were whistling him, which is like booing him.
They were booing Gareth Bale as well when we were there. They are so hard to please. I mean, they're impossible to please. If that's the standard and they're whistling you, they are impossible to please.
Right, I would say to Real Madrid fans who may or may not be watching this, they're not. Just wait until the end of the game to judge Ronaldo's performance. You were whistling him. He scores a hat-trick and you're through to the next round. I mean, Ronaldo at one point...
scored 2 in the other game.
Ridiculous. Ronaldo at one point when he celebrated, he went like that. Now, people were saying, was that to the crowd? And he said, no, it wasn't to the crowd. If Ronaldo's scoring and they go shh to the home fans, my goodness, the game's gone. Game's gone. Daniel Cross has asked the pertinent question, when did you stop being called James or Jim Campbell?
Years ago.
It was years ago.
Answer.
It was years ago. A lot of people commenting on about Juventus and Barcelona and so on and so forth. Richard has said Juve's the best side left. No, he's saying they're the best side left in the competition, better than Real Madrid.
Well, Real Madrid would be the obvious other one, wouldn't they? I guess you'd even make an argument for Monaco if you're looking at consistency, because Barcelona they've not been great of late. I think they conceded 7 goals in their last 2 games or something.
Barcelona. Oh, Barcelona. Yeah, they've conceded. They've conceded a few of late.
Yeah, they're not in great form, so they'd be the other one you think about. But yeah, there's definitely a shout for Juventus.
Yeah, very much so. A lot of people, David Matthews included, saying, "Get into the Redknapp chat, lads."
All right, should we just
excuse me?
There?
It's just made me sneeze with excitement.
With joy.
A lot of people, I mean, Redknapp is Birmingham City manager. His first game on the weekend away to Aston Villa.
Derby.
Yes! Come on.
Is this the highest north he's been, Redknapp?
God, could be.
Because, it's not the north, obviously.
Yeah. I suddenly thought, where's Jordan on the... yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, well, how's he going to fare? He doesn't like it. He's a he's a profoundly southern man, isn't he, Harry Redknapp? I mean, he lives on the tip of the country in Sandbanks. Managed Bournemouth,
Portsmouth,
Southampton. Yeah, exactly.
He'll be after the Brighton job.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're back in the Premier with some of
you want some experience motivated playing.
Yeah, Neasy does it.
Neasy does it.
I think that we will finally find out if Redknapp can do it north of the border.
Yeah,
not north of the border.
North
of Watford is what I'm going to say, which some people consider a border. Not I. I think we're all as one, and we should remember that in these tough times.
So how do you think it's going to go? He's got, 3 games, isn't he?
3 games.
3 games to save them?
Look, I have no beef with Birmingham. Says it would be hilarious if they went down, but I don't think they will because there's
worse around them.
There's worse around them, and I think he'll win one, he'll draw one, and he'll lose one, and they'll just about stay up.
Be a knees up.
Yeah.
Absolute knees up.
The red that knees up. Knees up, mother. Yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be excellent. Ted, going back to the Champions League chat briefly. If it is Champions League chat, probably not. What is the heaviest, largest object that Diego Godin would head? I'd say Jamie Vardy.
Yeah? Is Vardy an object?
He's an object of my affection.
Well, quite. I think we're thinking inanimate, though. I think quite big.
Yeah.
I don't know, the first thing that comes to mind is, those inflatable balls people with back problems have? I think he could easily play a game with a ball that big.
Yeah, he'd be absolutely fine. He'd be able to pass his way out the back, which I think would be excellent. Josh has said, what about Warnock versus Redknapp? The chat would be phenomenal.
What's the versus, though? What are the parameters of this battle?
Yeah, exactly. Is that just a head-to-head, but in a sort of
conversation, or
Smith and Jones kind of way? Like both, kind of. I think it's Gerard has said, what's the worst football match you've ever been to?
Hertha Berlin against Hanover was pretty bad, wasn't it?
But the atmosphere was great.
But the football was awful.
Yeah, in terms of quality, it wasn't that good, was it? I'm trying to think for me. I went down to... Oh, no, but that's a bit harsh to slag off non-league.
Yeah, well, quite, yeah.
Anyone that I've been involved in.
Yeah, fair.
I think that's all right. Maybe an England friendly. Usually they're kind of
they can be
these
quite
days.
Sort of dull non-events, can't they?
Yeah. James is asking for FA Cup predictions. Arsenal in action.
Predictions. Arsenal in action against Man City. I don't know how that one's going to go because the win against Crystal Palace on Monday was crucial to get some confidence back up. Even if Wenger says confidence comes back very slowly, he's correct. But the game at the Emirates, was a surprising one because it was 2-2. You think City should have won that? They didn't put it away. So I don't know. I have a suspicion that City will go through, but I don't sort of completely discount Arsenal's chances. Yeah, and I'm sort of very sort of on the fence answer, but that's how I feel about it. I think it's sort of 60-40 in City's favour.
Yeah, and we don't give a damn about the other one.
No. Yeah, I don't even know who's in that.
The wonderfully named
some collection of sludge, I would imagine.
The wonderfully named James Tortoise has said, "Who invented the skip?" Well, it wasn't Harry Redknapp, was it? He couldn't skip with those knees.
No, absolutely not.
So probably best said. Hang on, a little comment from Nick about Brighton. Where are you, Nick? Here we are. Following on from Brighton's glorious promotion to the Premier League, how do you think they'll do next season, and where might they need to strengthen? I think they'll do okay. I mean, it's always difficult to tell.
Yeah.
Because people were worried about Bournemouth when they come up, but they're looking. Unless they have a disaster.
Signed a lot of players, though, didn't they, when they came up?
Well, that's true. Yeah, they got some decent deals.
Yeah.
I think I'd like Anthony Knockaert. It'd be so good if he can get that form because, like we said before in the podcast, the top half of the Championship can be quite a good place to be because your players can express themselves. They can play nice attacking football, providing you're a good side, of course. Whereas when you make the step up, you don't want to have to be kind of defending to the hilt and someone like Knockaert getting a bit frustrated and not getting the best out of him. But you do have to realise that you're in the big leagues.
Yeah, well, quite, and we hope that Glenn Murray can make the step up. That'd be great for him having done that. Having been promoted with Palace and then being injured for so long, it sort of effectively ruled him out of being in their side. Really, what teams do quite often as well is they sign other players from the Championship who didn't get promoted because the competition in the market's so difficult. So I think they'll do what everyone does and just try and strengthen everywhere. Yeah, with experience. John Terry coming in for the Seagulls.
Absolutely. Jonathan has said, I once knew a zebra called Deborah. She was in love with Patrice Evra. If you had to pair a footballer with an animal, who would you choose? That is a strange one. Peter Crouch and giraffe.
That would be good.
Obviously, if you're talking about rhyming, if you're talking about rhyming, then it's not going to work. But if you're talking sort of like for like, the pair that would look.
I'd like to see Santi Cazorla with a chipmunk. Just on his shoulder all the time, because he's quite chipmunk-like.
That's nice.
He's quite adorable. Chipmunks are adorable.
Yeah.
He sort of scurries around.
Roy Hodgson with an owl on his shoulder.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if the animal and the person have to have anything in common. Theo Walcott and a lion. That'd be weird.
Yeah. It certainly would be. I'd like to talk about Sport Recife
Yes.
In Brazil.
You're always going on about them.
I did,
They're never off the ramble,
well,
are they?
finally it's come to fruition because they've been awarded the Brazilian League title from 1987. This is in some of the press. You may have seen this is the 30-year battle between Recife and Flamengo for this title. Now, this is because Recife won the Brazilian title that year, but Flamengo won a breakaway competition, a breakaway league, if you will, which was sanctioned by the Brazilian FA. This was because the Brazilian Football Association were unable to financially support the championship. So 13 clubs, including Flamengo, went away and started a breakaway league. Recife then wanted to play Flamengo in a playoff to determine who was the best side in the land.
A lot of the Brazilian league structure works like that too.
Yeah, and Flamengo were like, nah, we're all right. Flamengo had Zico and Bebeto on their books at that time, but after 30 years of lots of people clearly still being bothered by this, Sport Recife have been given the title, and they put on their website, Sport are the 1987 Brazilian champions, just as they were 30 years ago.
Yeah, and Flamengo tweeted today something like, on the pitch, off the pitch, still champions, or something like that. They're not having it. Get the bands back together.
I think
Get the players back together. Make them do the playoff now.
That's what I'm talking about.
The Brazilian league is absolutely mad. I wrote about this in our book. Like, do pick it up because it made my head hurt writing about it.
Yeah.
It is so crazy, and it has been for a long time.
I appreciate you.
I sort of understand why there would be confusion over who's won the league because it's that mental.
Yeah, very true. It's a fascinating little story, but I think getting those sides back together to play that playoff, because they never played it, or give them both the league, share the league,
quite
like we would at schoolboy level if something like that came about. Ben has said, see, Bristol Rovers have had the best home form in the top five leagues in England over the last 3 years. Not bad.
No, they've got a young man on loan from Chelsea, haven't they? I've forgotten his name. Tammy something.
Just
and
assume
he scored
that
an absolutely beautiful goal at the weekend.
Yeah,
just sort of flicked it around the keeper while.
I saw that. Yeah, that was delightful. Yeah. Just assume that if it's a side doing quite well, they've got a Chelsea loanee.
Yeah, quite.
Mm-hmm. Not that I'm saying that all the Chelsea loanees do well, but you know what I'm saying.
Tammy.
Damien has said Wenger and the Gunnosaurus as a pairing. I mean, that's That's absolutely wonderful. We're coming towards the end of our time, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. We've already done 26 minutes. It's been a pleasure. Although Beth Cole has said that's Bristol City, Jim. We've both got that wrong.
Sorry,
we were talking about Bristol Rovers, Bristol City. I don't think fans of Bristol Rovers or Bristol City will mind if we. Let's merge them.
Don't they?
They should merge together to form one club.
Yeah, Bristol.
Yeah, that's it. Bristol. Maybe that would be better. A few more comments about Bristol City. Rovers do have John Clark Salter
on loan from Chelsea.
I assume that's what Beth Cole means.
They've both got a Chelsea loanee.
Yeah.
You were right.
Indeed, yeah. What about John Clark Pepper? And we'll end it there. Much for tuning into FORZA Ramble.
I don't even understand that.
Yeah. Sean Pye, have you confirmed the Australian show yet?
Yeah.
Sean,
you can't come.
Sorry,
Sean.
It's a no Sean zone.
Yeah.
And that's that. Marvellous. Thank you very much for all your comments for FORZA Ramble. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Jim. It's been a pleasure having you here. Let's do a handshake like Spurs. There we go. We'll be back at the same time next week, of course. Remember, the preview show is out on Friday. Tickets for the Hackney Empire. More of this, but a lot sexier.
Yeah.
Because the other two will be there, and a lot more racy as well. Tickets for the Hackney Empire on our website. No, not on our website, on the Hackney website, on all our social media feeds. You'd be an absolute mug to miss out on that. Lovely old job.
Don't be a mug.
No, we're not going to read that comment out. That's a disgrace. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon. Bye.